Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced looking rack. Is there a bingo here? I'm not seeing a 7, but I'm sure there'll be some 8s. I think Mundane is good through an M. But no 7 coming to mind. I've got the man and men suffix. Okay, great. Quite a few floaters to consider, and I have Mundane and Demonian, so I am bingoing. What about the R? Not seeing anything. Could be worth a lot more than the D bingo if it's a double-double. No, not seeing a bingo there. What about T? I could have the ment ending. No, not seeing anything, so let me get Mundane down. 472, fantastic. Wow, what have I done to deserve this pick? G-U-V-V. Well, I could change, but I think if I can play Vug or Gov somewhere, that's going to be preferable. And I do have Vug above Mundane for a humble score. And the rack lever of even isn't the worst in the world because N goes well with V, or helps to ameliorate its downside. Now, opponent goes in that spot. 42 points, ouch. The alternative play of Demonian would have opened column 15. So, is there anywhere for Gov or Vug? I'm not sure there is. So, should I be changing? It's easy to think that changing is the right thing to do, but given that an S is only worth 8 points, it's easy to throw away points on a change. I'm just not seeing anything. Yeah, I am changing. So, what to keep? Just E and N, I think. Yeah, I think the other alternative would have been to keep a G as well. But I can't believe I'm committing any great solecism by binning that. Now, I have drawn a blank. Wow, another 40-point play for opponent. So despite my bingo, I trail. And I'm not bingoing with this rack. But how can I sort it out? I'd like to play off F and W. I could do that with a play of few. But I don't think that plays anywhere. This is grim stuff. So, I could play new. 30 points, always good to see 3 as a big figure. This rack leave isn't terrible, N helps C. And I'm just not going to be able to play off F and W with a score remotely approaching this score. And this play doesn't provide anything great for opponents. So I'm going with this. Great, I draw a vowel and I draw an S. So could I have a bingo here? There is a floating vowel in the U. And my blank could be a vowel. So I have infects on my rack. That plays in columns 7 and 9. Does it play anywhere else? Don't think so. It would be nice to have another bingo which plays somewhere. So what about this U? I've got the un prefix, but C and F are awkward bedfellows. Nothing with the J. What about a play beginning with R? Rufescent is a 9. What about the W? Doesn't look good. MY only takes a C, but I've got one. So it could begin to the left of that. Not seeing anything. Dripped doesn't take anything afterwards. Opponent taking a while on their play. So I'll have a squiz through the alphabet, see if any plays come to mind. Okay, opponent's played I am bingoing. And in fact, I have a better bingo because infects in column 4 gets doubled. So infects for 77. And I am back in the lead. But look at this, 6 vowels. Pretty grim stuff. Ani is good, leaving AU. Exurb doesn't take anything in front. Ani plays in column 9. Oh wow, nice bingo by opponent, 78 points, so I trail with a grim rack. Is there any prospect of scoring with this rack? Certainly no bingo with 6 vowels. Where are the big tiles on the board? Well, the X is out of action. I don't have anything to go in front of BI, so the J not available, Z not available. So I have O here, and this rack leave isn't bad. It's only vulnerable to drawing vowels. If I draw consonants, I'm immediately in bingo territory. So, is this the play? I have the same play here for 13 points, and this denies the opponent the opportunity of putting a big tile above the E, a scoring tile above the E, and indeed massively restricts their ability to play down from the T onto the triple word square. So I think this has a lot of merit. I am going with this. Okay, so I think I have allaying. Does that go anywhere? I don't think so. Rackets doesn't take anything in front, so, and genially through an L. Let me consider the available floaters. So there's a W. Nothing with that. There's an S. No. And there is an R. Gosh, close to in greatly. So there is room for an ingly ending. No, there isn't. Yearling. Oh, wow. I have yearling through this R. Wow. I wasn't expecting that to pop into my mind. An opponent does not block it. So I have yearling. That invites a really heavy response with a Y next to this triple letter square. Not only can vowels go there, A and O, but also consonants. So layering is its anagram. That doesn't play. But what about T? Do I have anything through that? No. What about P? No. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to see what happens. Yearling for 78. And quite a nice pick for 7 random tiles. I've drawn another S and a scoring tile in the V. So what am I going to do here? I don't have a 7. Floating T doesn't look hopeful. What about this G? Not available for vertical plays. I'm going to come back to this middle triple word square later because I'm expecting opponent to play there. So do I have anything? I have agave. Wow, fantastic. Yeah, opponent does go there, but look at this. I've got agave for 39. And, well, it's another nice looking rack, but no bingo leaps to mind. Such a close game. Just 19 points between us. 23 tiles in the bag, including a blank. So what am I going to do with this rack? Could there be a bingo here? There's a floating W. No. There's the T of dripped. No. And the S of infects. No. I and S. No. So I'm not seeing anything. I've got a scoring tile in the H. A couple of 7-letter lanes on the board. There's column 14 hooking new and row N above the E of agave. 13 minutes on opponent's clock, 14 on mine, so we're neither of us in time trouble. I can play Hill and SH. Still 1 S and 1 blank to come. And Hill doesn't score very much. 19 points. Quite a few I's and O's to come. Let me count the remaining vowels. 15 out of 30, so no shortage of vowels. Is there anything to do at the top of the board? I don't think so. Still 1 M to come to go in front of Z. Is there anything better than Hill? Only my S can go after UT, and I'm reluctant to play that unless it's for a big score. Maybe opponent will provide somewhere for the H. Hat is good, but I certainly want to split up the L, so Hill isn't a terrible play. But keeping an O with 4 O's to come, pretty grim. I've got Hillo. Well, I have Hillo in 2 spots, row L and also column 10, neither of which scores well, but Hillo in column 10 provides very little for opponent. Is that the play? Opponent plays Vims, just playing off a couple of consonants. 18 points, so let me consider the options. There's Hillo for 10, keeping HNS, and the H can go underneath the S of rackets. Only 10 points. 21 points. Burning the H. Well, I think I have to go for the extra points. Turning over 1 more tile with a blank to come. Opponent played Vims. I'm providing 3 good floaters. I'm providing lots. This is a much more helpful move for opponents. However, there's only 1 point between us. And scoring 10 more points or 11 more points is significant. It could make a difference to the result of the game. But is there something better than either of those options? I don't have anything down from Ut. 13 minutes on my clock. No extension of a gave. Lazo takes an S. £28 points available there with a horrible rat cleave. I'm going with Hillo. The floaters I'm providing aren't the most useful in the world, L and O, and a column 14 bingo is going to provide access to column 15. I'm going with this. Great, I draw the Q with the U. I have sequins. Wow. So, is that going to play? New takes an S, so I have sequins in column 14. And also hooking Hillo. Does it play anywhere else? SE, not good. To an I would have squinies and quinsies. Wow, will I get to play my Q bingo? 11 minutes on opponent's clock. I don't think the L is helpful. What about the O? No, not seeing anything there. What about the T? Inquests. Well, that doesn't play. Nothing with the P. And what's the lowest I can play sequins in column 14? Hillo only takes an S of the tiles I've got. Yeah, so not much difference between my two column 14 options. And if I get this down, it could be game winning. And I can get it down. So, has opponent provided anything new? Obelai, what does that take? Possibly an A, I'm not sure. I can't use that I. So, 2 I's to come, so this has got to be the preferred placement. If I played it to hook Hillo, then the Q would be next to this triple word square. So, sequins and news for 77. And I still dodge this final blank, and look how bingo-y the remaining tiles are. But does Obelai take an A? I'm not sure. But Obelai has obstructed row N as a bingo lane. Oh, and I missed the 2 I's and the blank for hooking the Q. But opponent has to play in this spot, otherwise I do. But the real danger is that opponent bingos in column 15. And that is possible. I don't have any ammunition on my rack to score well. So what happened to the M for Umzi? It went with Vims. 5 tiles in the bag. Opponent needs a bingo, I think. News takes a Y. So do I have anything at the bottom? I have Oda. Oh, an opponent's played in that spot. They've emptied the bag. They've got 7 tiles. A bingo would still win for them. So they've got cryptid or decrypt. Neither plays in column 15. I don't think they've got anything in row N. I'm really not sure about Obelai. I don't think it takes anything, but it may take an A. Do they have anything ending in A? I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it. So, and the opponent's played off both I's. Wow, I guess they were gambling on having a bingo. Do they have one? Always difficult to run through the possibilities when you have a blank. And I don't think I can outrun opponent. So I've got go here. 20 points. That's pretty lame. I've got 10 minutes of time, and it's Void Challenge, so let me check Obelia. Valid. Okay, so does opponent have a bingo with the blank as an A? No. But should I in any event be playing in row N? Could opponent have a play ending in A? So that's carpet D blank. I don't think opponent does have a play in that spot. So I think what I need to do is plan an out in 2. Opponent's P can go next to this U, so I think I do need to play onto this triple word square. I can't play anything next to the Q, so the most I can play in column 15 is GO. Yeah, this isn't terrible because I've got the A for Obelia, and Dowra is good. So I do have an out in 1. Yeah, I'm going with this. Now, am I going to repent at leisure? Does opponent now have a bingo that I have overlooked? I'm fairly confident Obelai doesn't take... I'm fairly confident Obelai only takes an A. My lead, 82 points. 12 on countback. Opponent only needs a bingo of 70 to draw. Any bingo in row O would win. But let me assume opponent isn't going to bingo. I've got Dowra and Obelia. Do I have a second out? Dowra and DE. Not many lanes available. Great. My Dowra spot remains available. And also great that opponent doesn't have a sneaky winning bingo. So Dowra for 11. And the final score, 359 for opponent, 448 for me, a winning margin of 89 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Right down to the wire. So it was opponent to go fast, and they played dripped. And these are my options, Demonian and Mundane. And then there was also bingos through the T of Antinome and Nominate for a much lower score. But my preference is Mundane. Despite the lower score, I'm not opening a triple lane. Wow, very non-bingo-y rack. But great spot by opponent of Jury for 42. Yeah, this is hopeless. Look at these rack leaves, absolutely horrendous. So I think changing is better. Opponent now gets a 40-point Z play, so they're now in the lead. And what do I do here? I play new. Yeah, and although Neff appears higher in this list, I think new is better. I think CFN is a better rack leave than CNW. Opponent plays Exurb, which is great because I have infects for 77. But look at this, opponent's rack has turned around and they now have 2 playable bingos, Rackets and Starkest. So, I trail. I play O for 13. And yeah, although 17 more points was on offer, that was with a retention of 4 vowels. Opponent plays Way. And I have yearling for 78, which I was delighted to see because it brought me right back into the game. Great spot by opponent of Tifo for 47. So I now trail again, but Agave swings the scoreline back in my favour. Opponent plays Vims. So Vims from this rack keeping 5 vowels. Wow. Phew, no missed bingo here. So Losh A14, that's the Losh and Lazos keeping Lin. Quite a volatile play, which I don't want to do. It's the sort of play I would do if I was trailing. But there's only 1 point between us. So I think Hillo for 21 is a much better play, retaining the S. Now opponent plays Obalai. And here it is in all its glory. What a magnificent sight. Sequins for 77. And the other option is just 1 square lower. Now, did opponent have a bingo? No, they didn't. And they play Oidia for 23, emptying the bag. C2 Dojo for 31. Well, if opponent's got a bingo, they win. And if they don't have a bingo, they've got a P for going next to this U. So they could play Tup, for example, with the blank as a U. So I'm very happy with my play as opposed to Dojo. So the final move, did opponents have a winning bingo? No, they did not, but they could have played Crepey and Newsy for 40, but they would still have been trailing. So they play Seedeye, and finally, Dara and Duar are the only outs, both in the same spot. So, wow, what a game. Super engrossing stuff. I got off to a flying start with Mundane and Infects, but was still trailing as a result of really big XZ plays and Tifo from opponent. However, the scoring continued and Sequins was a dream play which tilted the odds massively in my favour, and I was able to hang on despite opponent having the blank and the potential for a bingo right up until the final move. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.